Thanks for being on.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, they should have it on at Sluggles like every week. Christina could do that, but she probably doesn't know you're on. Seven, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to The Rowbo Show, only on WXRW 1041, Milwaukee's River West Radio. It's The Rowbo Show. It's The Rowbo Show.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to The Rowbo Show. Tonight we're shining a spotlight on an organization that has served veterans, families, and communities for generations. We're talking about the American Legion, and specifically the outstanding work being done at the American Legion Post 449 in Brookfield, Wisconsin. Let me tell you a little something about the Legion. The Legion was chartered in 1819 by Congress following World War I. Since then, it has grown into one of the largest veterans service organizations worldwide. Yeah, the organization continues with nearly 2 million members and almost 13,000 posts worldwide. So its mission of service to veterans, military personnel, youth, and local communities is greatly appreciated. And with me today is veteran Dave Landreth, who is the second vice commander of the Legion Post in Brookfield 449. Dave, thanks for being with me.
Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let's begin with the big picture. I mean, many people, recognize the name American Legion, but I don't think they really fully understand its mission. Can you talk about its mission a little bit?
Absolutely. The one thing with the American Legion is we focus a lot on, veterans' needs, rehabilitation, and all different aspects of that coming up. We work with state and local veteran affair advocates to make sure we have adequate VA health care funding. You've got a lot of disabled veterans that don't get all the help they need sometimes with having ramps built for their homes, or homelessness is huge for veterans too, because we come out and they don't have a lot of options. So we try to help them transition into jobs,
right?
Making sure they have what they need to have that quality of life after serving, and definitely serving in a war.
Yeah, I get that. What do you think the American Legion stands for today? How has the mission evolved since it was founded by World War I veterans in 1919? And I think the average age of the World War I veterans in 1919 was elderly.
Yeah, it's a nice thing is they got the honor flight, and a lot of these gentlemen that are, part of that, they are elderly, and we're trying to shift some focus, not still on our older veterans, but we also need to shift on trying to get younger veterans, especially Afghan veterans. I mean, we want them to feel like they do have a place to come to and spend time with their families.
Do you have ambassadors that reach out to these guys?
We have certain commanders. Like, I'm the second vice. We have obviously a first vice. We do have a lot of volunteers. The VA hospital here in Milwaukee has a really nice organization that works with veterans, and our chaplain at the 449 is actually going to start spending more time down there to talk to these younger veterans and let them know that you do have somewhere to go.
So of these 13,000 posts, do they all have a chaplain?
We're all supposed to, yeah. I mean, obviously, as members get older, some of those, you have to find new personnel.
Sure.
But yes, you all have a chaplain. We have a first vice. We have our commander. We have a first vice, a second vice. We have a sergeant of arms. We have a service officer. Our chaplain. We have a adjutant. I mean, it's kind of like a chain of command.
Yeah, sounds like it. So, tell us the history of Post 449.
So,
How did it get started?
okay, so I don't have a lot of history on that, but I will tell you, I've been there for about 8 months, and we've got a lot of stuff moving. There were several different posts that had joined with the Post 449.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I say several, it's the one from Elm Grove, Cudworth, and then several other ones. So we just kind of all combined ourselves together.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. So what makes Post 449 unique amongst the posts, and what do you think you're most proud of when you look at the accomplishments of Post 449?
What I like about and what I'm proud of is we have a very large membership. I mean, we're down a little bit, but I think we can hit our numbers with help from everybody. We have a nice facility. I mean,
Yeah.
we have a wonderful lounge. We have a beautiful banquet hall. And you just got a lot of people that care. And sometimes you walk in there and there's really not a lot going on, just a bunch of people sitting around the bar having drinks and, just talking.
Yeah, I was there. Betsy Mickey took me there a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
On karaoke night, and it was packed.
Yeah, it was busy.
I mean, people were like crooning, man. They really,
they love their karaoke. They will come long distances to sing songs.
I was just sitting back, watching, observing, and I was just amazed. But you could tell that people knew each other, and it was like it was a place to go to see people.
What really encourages me is my wife Jennifer. She's all for it. She's always involved. She just did a bunch of landscaping. Betsy's one of our bookkeepers.
Okay.
Give a shout out to Cheryl and John Moss have been just great supporters of me coming on board. The commander's been real supportive. So it's just a family outside of a family, really.
Right. Well, now I missed the event on Memorial Day because I went up to Lake Wisconsin, but I was amazed because you guys really pulled some people in and had a very cool fundraiser and a lot of dropped the D, a fundraiser.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work. It was about 3.5 months of planning. The nice thing is people pitched in, but yeah, you kind of start off slow, and all of a sudden we had 425 possible people. And the nice thing about, the American Legion Post in Wisconsin is we serve the public.
Okay.
So we had a lot of our friends, their friends. It was a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet it was. And you've got Rocktoberfest coming up.
I do.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about that.
The commander's going to do a 150-pound hog. We're trying to get, 2-3 bands per day, big tent outside, just, good food and get people together and enjoy that last festival of the year possibly.
Yeah, right. What are some of the things that you guys are doing with your fundraiser and the money that you're for community projects and charitable activities?
So we raise money. Like there's children and youth. We go out to high schools and we give them memorabilia and talk to them about the veterans. But we also sponsor. It's called the Oracle Contest for juniors and seniors.
Okay.
And basically, I know Wauwatosa West does this. They have to write speeches, if I understand this correctly, and they have to deliver a speech about Americanism and what it means to them. And they actually go to like Washington D.C., so they need to have funds for that. And we try to raise money that way.
Well, you guys go to local schools too and talk to the students about the military experiences and, from the veterans' perspective, and you answer questions about military and joining the military. So you're actually recruiting too.
Yeah, we are. My Sergeant of Arms, Dave Weigart, and Lisa Nelson, she's part of our board. They went to high schools the other day and talked to, I believe it was 2 or 3 different classes, and explained to them, what military life is, what they can benefit from military life. I mean,
yeah,
you serve in the military for 4 years, your college is paid for. I mean, let's be honest, college isn't cheap.
Right. Well, people are learning trades in the military too,
which is nice. The trades, it seemed like they kind of fell off in high schools and stuff. And
yeah.
You go in there, you can work on airplanes, you can be a helicopter technician, you can serve as a grunt, in the infantry,
Yeah, no, that's awesome because the trades is really where you want to be these days. I don't know about getting a liberal arts degree from a great college. I don't know if that's the way to go. You might be better off going into a trade right out of high school.
Absolutely, and we have engineers, we have Seabees and the Navy. I mean, we have all kinds of trades you can learn.
What is it? What do you need to qualify to get into the Legion? Because I know that it's for not only military but their families as well.
Yeah. So, to be an actual Legion member, you must be a veteran.
Okay.
But
be a member.
To be a member, but you could be the daughter, the granddaughter, and you could join the auxiliary. You could be a grandson, a son, and join our SAL, which are two important organizations for a Legion post. That's where a lot of our volunteers come from.
Okay.
I just give, for example, Lylette Smith. She's part of the auxiliary. She really worked very hard to help raise money for Memorial Day. They donated baskets and baskets and baskets that we could raffle off to raise money.
Excellent.
The SAL, they did the same thing. They volunteer, they help out. I got some friends in the SAL that are actually part of the Honor Guard. They do all the military, salutes and the military services and stuff for fallen past vets. And
all right, I gotta ask you.
Okay.
What does SAL stand for?
Sons of the Legion.
Okay.
Yep, SAL.
Okay. So that sounds good. Another thing that you guys, I think, that this is really important and a big problem is that you guys work with people in terms of mental health and suicide prevention programs.
Yeah, we absolutely do. And Lisa Nelson's very, very big into that too. She's, like I said, part of our board. I mean, so many veterans, they come out and they're going through problems, and I mean, veteran suicides, it's no joke. I mean, it's up there, and we're trying to find ways, and with the help of everybody, we're trying to show them that they have a place that they can come to. They have people here that care about them.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your Be the One buddy checks.
I'm not sure.
Okay. I've got here that Be the One. Post 449, Be the One conducts buddy checks on members to check in and let members of family know there is someone that cares. And then you also support Camp American Legion.
That's a real good organization. You get families that either lost somebody in combat or they came back from combat. This gives them a chance to go and spend time at cabins on a lake, and time to relax, time to rejuvenate, time to spend time with their loved ones. And, there's times where they will supply 3 meals a day for the families. And,
wow. I looked at the website on that. Those looks like some really nice, serene cabins and all very affordable.
Yeah, they are. I know the ones that are part of our post are at Little Lake Tomahawk. I did the same thing you did and look. They're nice little cabins, and it's just a good place to get away. We all have to have our place to get away, right?
Right. Yeah. So, tell me about the ladies' auxiliary. I know that they do the poppy sales.
Yep, that was their big thing for Memorial Day. The little red poppies. Yeah, I believe they donate that to like veteran homes and certain organizations to help with the veterans too.
Okay. And that's interesting because I usually buy one of those poppies. I love those people.
I think I still have some of my hats from last year. But no, they do volunteer for the post. They have their annual bake sales and to raise money for their organization too. And yeah, it's just a good team of ladies that just want to help out.
Yeah, I know that you welcome family and friends to be involved in the post in that form in the Memorial Day. I mean, geez, like how many people did you have that helped you out?
It was weird because we thought we were going to be down to like 4 or 5 volunteers, and I think we had 13, 14 people. As you guys need anything? Do you want me to run and get ice? Do you want me to do this? So we had a lot of people helping us out.
Yeah,
a lot of people stayed all day long, and just kept
Yeah, I think that's cool because people want to help out.
They
you
do.
know. People don't want to commit to programs. So, like you're talking about people that were there, the weather's great, everybody's having fun. Hey, I want to stay. I want to help out. I want to
Yep.
help Dave. I want to help. Whoever else is involved in this because I know these people. I like them, and they need help, and they step up. It's like my friend was at a bar out in Okanam bar at a wedding, and they were missing a bartender, and it was a backyard wedding. He just stepped up because the mother of the bride was serving drinks. He said, "This does not work. You're not serving me a drink."
Well,
And
and the nice thing for me is I go to local bars in the area, beside the Post, and it's nice when you walk in and people are like, "Hey, there's Dave," and man, the Post is really doing good. You guys seem like you're really getting some energy there, and it's not Dave, it's the team of people that are all part of this, and
yeah,
it's not just one person. I mean, it's just it's a good atmosphere, and people enjoy being there.
yeah. So what do you guys do with the Boy Scouts? I mean, I was a Boy Scout. I don't remember an American Legion night.
So the Boy Scouts get involved. Like we do talk to the Boy Scouts. The One Scout Masters works very well with the 449, but we teach them like the flag ceremony, right? Because you have to dispose of the flags properly. We teach them how the military works. I mean, they're kind of like their own little military themselves, right? As they're growing up and they get their badges and stuff.
Right.
But we work with them on Veteran Day programs, the Memorial Day program. I know their big thing is on Memorial Day they all go out to the cemetery and honor, the fallen vets there, and they actually do a lot.
Yeah. So let me ask you some quick questions.
Sure.
Yeah. What's your favorite American Legion tradition?
I think the way we honor the flag and we dispose of our flags. I mean, so many people, it seems like they don't understand how important that flag is, not just to the American Legion, but to the United States. I mean, that's our freedom. That's that says we are America, and we take that very serious.
Yeah. Well, you had mentioned earlier about the synthetic flags or that you take that get cremated.
Yeah, so we keep the cloth flags because you can burn those, but the problem is with the nylon and the plastic flags, we can't do that because of the smoke. And we've partnered up with Schrampke Funeral Home and Schmidt Bartel. I have two friends at each of those funeral homes, and they help dispose of the flags. If they have a veteran that's being cremated, those flags will go into the crematorium. Or they will respectfully fold them and they will cremate the ones we cannot burn.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your most memorable post 449 event? Now, I know you've only been there 8 months, but I'm guessing that you maybe had attended some events prior to that too.
Well, obviously we know the one big one.
Yeah.
I've only been there like 8 months. I got to tell you that's probably the one that's going to stick for a while. But I have to say probably the first time I came in for karaoke.
Yeah,
I just didn't really realize how many people were going to be in there singing.
It freaked me out too.
It was weird. You walk in, you're thinking karaoke, and then wow, and they, then you watch they like dancing at the bands and stuff. So I have to say that probably the first time I was there for the karaoke and the bands was kind of like, wow, this place is pretty cool.
Yeah. So what one word that describes post 449?
Family.
Yeah, I knew. I said I don't think you could come up with any other word. Community is another good one too. And I think that's something that we all need to stress. And the associations that I'm a part of, we really struggle to get the younger people to participate. And what are you guys doing to recruit people? It's got to be something that's at the top of your goals, is to get more younger people, because we're dying off.
Yeah, we are getting a little older, aren't we?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I've got the chaplain on it. Lisa Nelson's going to start really working membership hard. I think part of the thing is not only like members to join the post itself, but we feel like maybe we're forgetting about the sons and the grandsons and the granddaughters and those are all organizations that may not be a full Legion member, but you're still part of that Legion. You're one of the divisions of that Legion, and maybe we're forgetting that Legion, that group of people.
Yeah.
But they're going to start working with the, like I said, the VA hospital, and which, by the way, we actually have a wonderful VA hospital. It's probably one of the best. I know because I go there.
That's nice to hear. Yeah.
It's great. So they're going to start working down there and trying to get a table set up and start recruiting some veterans and find ways to get them up to that post.
Yeah. Most rewarding part of being a Legion member?
It's an honor. It's almost like you're serving again. You know, you're people respect you. They're not disrespectful. Everybody gets treated with respect, and I think that's a key to not just there, but we learn that in the community. It's better for everybody.
Yeah. You know, something that I've noticed too, you know, I was around during the Vietnam era, and I remember when the vets came back, they weren't treated very well. You know? And today, you know, we're always honoring our police officers. That defund the police things sure is gone, you know.
Sure.
I see people saying, thanks for your service, thanks for doing what you're doing, to firemen, to policemen, and to veterans, you know, which is, I think it's cool, but I didn't grow up with that.
No, you grew up in a time, I think, where 90% or 70% of the public felt we didn't belong there.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, with these younger veterans and what they're doing now, we belong there. People rely on the United States military to protect them in their own countries, and I think that's important. And I think letting these veterans know it's important, and I think they're starting to see that with the public. I think people are real. I see it all the time. You know, thanks for your service. I mean, I wear a Marine Corps haircut still, so people always ask me if I was in the service.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's important. I think we need to let these young veterans know that, hey, you are wanted here and you are respected.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good to know. What's your best advice for a young veteran returning home from service?
You know, one, know that you're appreciated, know you're loved, and please, if you need something, you have to reach out.
Yeah.
Whether it's to family, you know, the VA, call the American Legion Post 449, any post. Everybody's got people that'll talk to you, and make sure they don't keep it bottled up.
Yeah, well, I think that just being in the service, which I never was, you're serving. You know, you're not asking for anything.
No,
and a lot of these guys, they really are committed to service. I mean, they're ready to give their lives, and they've been in these situations where they could have died, and they come back, and I don't think they're good at asking for help because they were protecting us.
Yeah, you know, I agree 100%. And I feel the same way. It's like, hey, wait a minute, I protected this country, and I'll get through this myself. It doesn't work that way. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
Everybody needs somebody, and you know, if you think about it, we haven't had a draft in how many years, right?
Well,
when was
don't
the last
remember one.
Vietnam, right?
Yeah.
So
it was in the 60s.
That means everybody that's serving right now,
yeah,
they chose to go do that job, and we need to respect the fact that they chose to go do that job. And
right,
you know,
and I don't think it's a bad decision either. I see people coming out that have 20 years of service, and their benefits are unbelievable.
They're unbelievable. And just personally, I got to be honest with you. You know, if it wasn't for my stepdad in the Marine Corps, we might not be talking right now.
Yeah.
Because when I was in high school, I was a little crazy, but
that's a shocker.
Right. Well, and my dad was a police officer, so I didn't get away with a whole lot.
So what is the phrase "service before self" mean to you? I mean, we were kind of talking about it, but let me just ask you something personal. You know,
sure.
You know, you served in Desert Shield and Desert Storm, correct?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So you were in combat.
Yes, I was.
How are you today after your experience? I mean, you seem, well, I've only known you less than 8 months.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but you seem pretty stable.
You know, and I'm going to contribute to this. I mean, it took me a lot of years to where I was angry.
Okay.
Not angry I served, but just angry I don't know, short-tempered, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I finally realized that I'm proud of what I do.
Yeah.
You know, it's no different than I tell my salespeople at Uptown, be proud that you're a car guy
Yeah.
or a car girl.
Absolutely. Embrace it. Yeah.
And the one thing I will tell you is this, working for the Pentlers for 6 years taught me kind of a different mentality.
Yeah.
Because I used to be that GM or that sales manager that it was my way or the highway.
Okay.
And it just doesn't work that way anymore. And
Yeah.
so I'm not just saying that. I mean, I learned a new kind of culture, I guess. And, but I'm very proud of being a car guy, and I'm very proud of being a Marine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. What if a veteran is listening tonight and they've never been involved with the American Legion? What would you say to encourage them to just visit Post 449? I mean, start there. I mean, and you've only been in it 8 months. You've said that several times, but that really doesn't matter. It's just you're in it now.
I'm in it, and I can tell you if the doors are open and we're open, you can walk through that door and say, "Hey, we want to talk to Dave that was on the podcast," and I'll be there.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm there all the time, but it is a fun place. I mean, and you can walk in, you can have a soda, you can have a beer. I'll sit and talk to you. I mean, I like to meet everybody. That was kind of the rough part about walking in there when I did is everybody knew my name real fast, but I had to learn like hundreds of people's names, right?
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's so. So how can community members like me, who are not veterans, support the mission of the Legion? I mean, I obviously attend the events.
Sure.
But you can pretty much go in there anytime as a patron.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If we're open, you're welcome. If you want to help out, I mean, there is a place on the website. You can hit donation. Donate time. If you know we're doing something, stop in and just donate time. And you'll see how many people really get excited. Even people that weren't volunteering for Memorial Day said, "Hey, you got anything I can do?" I'm like, "Sure."
Yeah. Well, so you got the Rocktoberfest coming up with a 150-pound pig. You definitely gonna need some help with eating that thing.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, and then the event in Memorial Day, you talked about that too. So were those events always there?
I know they used to do stuff like that. I was told by, my commander and several people that was probably the biggest event they'd seen in years.
Yeah. Wow. Well,
and I'm trying to bring that back now.
Yeah. So we talked about what you would say to veterans coming out and so forth, but it sounds to me like the Legion is, even though you're struggling to get people, it's a very live thing. How many members do you guys have right now that are active?
I believe we're at 384.
Wow.
And we're still down on membership. We just got to keep trying,
Yeah. Well, our people are dying off, but are people coming into it relatively similar to what's going out of it? Do you have enough veterans to, sustain the legions? 13,000 legions is a lot of them. Did you at one point have more than that? Do you know? I
don't know, but I mean, I think with the fundraisers and trying to get some of these younger vets in, and you got to remember a lot of our members have moved down to Arizona and Florida, and so we just got to keep moving forward.
Yeah. So, well, thanks to everyone at the American Legion 449 for your dedication to veterans, families, and our community. Since 1919, the Union has stood for service, patriotism, and support for those who wore the uniform. And Post 449 continues that proud tradition right here in Wisconsin, in Brookfield, Wisconsin. Hey, thanks for joining us, Dave, on the Rowbo Show.
Happy you had me.
Yeah, and thanks for serving in Desert Shield and Desert Storm, and I'm glad you made it back.
I am too.
Yeah. So you've been listening to the Rowbo Show. This is Mark Rowbottom on WXRW Radio 104.1 FM. Text message, too late.